Welcome back, YouTube viewers. This one is going to have to be fairly quick by my standards. Don't know what that actually means. I'm picking up right where we left off, where we have just added the three arms as separate objects to our hull, which is mirrored. I'm going to apply that mirroring over here, and even the edge split. Although that means I also want to go in and I want to remove all doubles, and just for the heck of it, mesh, normals, recalculate outside, and I'm going to deselect everything. Believe it or not, I actually want the transparency off for this, but I'm obviously in edit mode for our engineering section. I'm going to select one vertex on the outside. I'm going to hold down my Alt key and right mouse click the next vertex, and I should get a nice round selection of verts all the way around my engineering hull. And that's true. That has happened. Now, this is going to be a little strange. I want to Shift D like David. Oh, heck. Hang on. Sorry about that. All right, so Shift D like David, that duplicates these things. Right mouse click to accept it. P like Peter, and pick separate by selection. So now, if I tab out and I click on this outer edge, I'll jump between this circle of verts and the engineering hull. You can actually see the engineering hull down here selected when the hull itself is selected. But right now, that's just a line of verts right at the front. It's a separate object. As a matter of fact, if I wanted to, I could grab it and move it around. But what I really want to do is tab into it, A to select all the vertices, so you see only that one row. We're going to hit E and pull. Okay. I want to do E and X, and this time I'm going to grab X and move it out here to this line that Alan has drawn. Now I'm going to scale S and bring it down to the outside of that line. Then we're going to do this again, only we're going to do E and X so that we restrict it, the extrusion in the X-axis, and I'm going to scale this down again. I want to take this and make it bounding box center. All right, so now scale. When you see me go whoops and I get out of that, I tend to right mouse click. So scale, and then when you like what you've scaled to, you left mouse click. I'm going to grab that and move that X a little bit. Okay, cool. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, we're back. Now, the only thing is that I'd normally like to do is I would really like to bevel this or reduce the sharpness of some of this. Like if I go to Z here and tab out, to me, I don't like that sharp edge. I really don't. Very few things in life really have a great sharp edge. So, but I am going to leave it because it perfectly matches here. If I tab out again and select A to deselect, that is a perfect match for our hull. The only thing that's left is to tab into it, A to select everything. Well, we could always do remove doubles. Nothing there. But mesh, normals, and recalculate outside. All right, cool. Now when I tab out, well, we're also going to have to make it smooth. I don't want to tab out then. Smooth shading. And that actually does kind of solve the problem. Let's go to a one view, and it still matches, and yet it looks a little softer. So you know what? I'm going to leave that. Now, the only thing is, of course, this whole thing in the front is open. Wide open, as a matter of fact. And we don't want that. So, I'm afraid Well, there's a couple of different ways that you could do this. Let's try something. A to deselect everything. I'm going to select one vertex with a right mouse click. I'm going to Alt, right mouse click the next one, get everything. I'm going to do E to extrude, scale, and then 0 and hit enter. Now this isn't the economical way to do things. And number 2, it actually leaves holes open here because, let me tab this out. I'm going to move, no, I'm not going to move. We're already in the 3rd layer. So if you see where there was cutouts, it looks like it didn't extrude that. That's okay. What we can do, this will be interesting. I'm going to go to edge select mode. I'm going to grab an edge here. And then I'm going to grab a corresponding edge here below it. Let's see here. See if I can get real close to the center here. All right, yeah, that looks like it is the innermost and the innermost. Okay. Zoom out. And I'm going to pick this edge here, and I'm going to hit F for face. I'm going to do the same. Actually, can I see through that? I can't see through that. So that's all right. Let me hit Control Z. Control Z. All right. So I can't see through that. What am I looking at here? Let's go to A, select all, remove doubles, mesh, normals, recalculate outside, tab. Still not sure what I'm looking at here. But in any case, that's actually okay. Because if I include the rest of what we're doing, all right. We're also going to be adding a cylinder. So I want to make sure that my cursor, Shift S, is in the center, cursor to center, right up here. Shift A, I want to add a cylinder. I want this to be about as round as what we've got here, although that's 180, so that's a bit much. I don't think we really have to go that high. I'll pick 100 vertices and make it fairly round. Okay, cool. We're going to rotate 90. Scale down. Grab this and move it down here. All right, now I'm going to scale this up. First I want to grab this and kind of center it. That looks about center, so grab X, and we can correct that in a minute. All right, so now I'm going to scale this up until we match kind of top and bottom here. That's not bad. Then we're going to scale X and make it really thin. Grab X, move it into place. I'm going to make it a little thinner. Scale X. All right, so that's not too shabby. I don't mind it overlapping into the hull a little bit. You'll never see it. Grab X. Okay, cool. So that's not too shabby. We're going to tab out. Oh, I must have had that selected. All right, Control Z, Z, Z. All right, so A to deselect everything. Shift A, add cylinder, 100 vertices, rotate 90, grab it. That dot in the center of the object. So I'm going to place that somewhere near the center of the engineering hull. Cool. Grab X. I'm going to center on that little area. Scale down until the top meets like that. Scale X, only in the X direction. Okay, so now grab X, move it back just a tiny bit. Again, I don't mind if it goes into the hull. We could scale X just a little more if we really wanted to. Grab X. All right, cool. So that's not so bad. I'm going to hit smooth, and then we're going to go to modifiers, add an edge split and apply. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab our hull gray. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab hull gray for this. Hull gray. And if you haven't done so yet, do it for your engineering hull, hull gray, and the 3 arms. So hull gray, and hull gray. All right, so now I'm going to go to this viewport shading bit, and I'm going to hit, right now I'm going to hit rendered. Oh, actually, if I'm going to do that, I want to shift and include the lower layer number 1. So now I've got all those suns providing a little bit of light. Or we could do a render. But this isn't looking exactly like what I want. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to, let's see here, tab. There shouldn't be any doubles. Holy mackerel, there's doubles. And then mesh, normals, recalculate. All right, tab. Let's go back and see if that makes a difference in rendering. And no, it does not. Oh, what's going on? I'm not sure that this is right. I'm going to do object. I did this before, though. I mean, mesh, normals, recalculate outside. Doesn't seem to make a difference. Front looks okay. I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to do a real render. I'm going to grab one of our cameras here, duplicate it, change our pivot point to the 3D cursor, rotate this so I can see somewhat from up front, and I'll be right back as soon as this renders out. I'm going to say I think this is simply how the cylinder was responding to the real-time lighting. It looks okay in a render. Anyway, all right, we'll get out of that. Go on, Eric. There we go. Back to 1, 5, A to deselect that camera. Now, we've got several cowls, kind of, to spin. This is going to be interesting. Luckily, down here, Alan has drawn for us thicknesses and placements of the internals of everything, including a cutaway of the dish. That's going to make this next part very, very simple. All right, so what I want to do is I want to shift A. I want to add a mesh and just get a plane. All right, so we're going to grab that and move it down. I'm going to go to 3, rotate 90, back to 1. I'm going to grab that, bring it down here, and scale. Oop, I want a bounding box center. Okay, scale. All right, cool. Now, this in here is actually hull colored, if I remember correctly. This in here is, I think, supposed to be like a gold, but a kind of like a tarnished gold, or I think he called it antique gold there or there. I can't remember which. We'll look it up when it comes time to texture. But for right now, what I want to do is I want to hit Z. I want to tab in to our edit mode, hit face selection, and pick the face. I'm going to hit X and delete face. Oh, apparently not. Control Z. Let's do this by just removing and edge then. So X edge, that leaves all the verts in place. And I'm going to go back here to verts, select these two where I deleted the edge, hit F. I've now got 4 verts, 4 edges, but there's no face there. All right, so this puts us in a unique position. I'm going to scale this down a little bit. All right, so it's great, and it's flat on the outside, and on the inside, actually here, scale just a tad. Grab X and have that line up. Okay, so that's nice. Now what I want to do is, as long as I'm in edit mode, I'm going to grab this vertex. I'm going to grab Z. I'm going to bring it down about here. And grab this vertex, grab Z, bring it down here. Grab Z, bring it up. And last one, grab Z and bring this up. All right. So I'm going to grab these 2 vertices, grab Z, and I kind of like it like that. All right. So now we've got the correct angulation for this thing. And it's only vertices. There's no face. And what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to wind up spinning this. But I want to put a pivot point down here. So actually what I could do, I'm going to tab out of this, so no vertices anymore. Shift D. I'm going to grab this Z, and I'm going to move this down here so that that origin is right on this center yellow line. Shift S, cursor to selected. Then I'm going to delete that object because I don't need it anymore. I've got this cursor right where I want it. So I'm going to go up here, grab my object, my faceless object, right? Tab into it, select all my vertices. I'm going to change my bounding box to 3D cursor, and I'm going to go to, at the moment I'm going to go to Control 3. All right. All I want to do is center where I've got that 3D cursor and this faceless set of verts. Now I'm going to hit spin, and we're going to change this to 100 and change this to 360, enter. I've now got a cowl. We're going to A to select everything. And I'm going to remove doubles. And mesh, normals, recalculate outside. All right, cool. Tab. Now I've tabbed out. And I want to Shift Control Alt C. I want to take origin to the geometry. That should place it right in the middle of this whole circle. Why do I want to do that? I want to rotate this 180. Now, our join is on the bottom. In case there's a problem, it'll be actually hidden for the most part by the third arm of the engineering hull. All right, cool. Now, I'm going to go to 1. I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees again so it's facing in the correct direction. I'm going to go up here to this cylinder that we added. Shift S, cursor to selected, right? So now I want to grab this and I want to selection to cursor. All right, cool. So we know it's centered. We know it's centered on this, and that is already centered on our ship. So I'm simply going to grab our new object, grab X, and move it into place. Just slightly coming into our cylinder. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to grab hull texture, hull gray. And let's go to Z so we can see this. And you know what? That ain't bad. That isn't bad at all. Now we're going to add more cylinders and such to this in the exact same way. So I'm going to hit smooth and then go up to modifiers and add an edge split. And because of edge split in this version, I'll bet you there's now doubles. Nope. All right, normals, recalculate outside. Can't hurt. Tab out of it. Looks nice. All right, so we're gonna do what we did before. We're gonna go and we're gonna do the same thing for these. So I'm moving my cursor to the center. Shift A, add a plane, grab the plane. As a matter of fact, I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to move it down here so that it's right in the middle of that yellow line, which represents the center. And this plane is centered with our model. So Shift S, cursor to selected. Bingo. Okay. Right now, I'm going to get rid of that plane. It's not that we don't need it, but I don't need it right now. Easier to do is to go to 3, rotate this 90 degrees. Control Z. I want to take this and make it bounding box center so that it stays centered. Rotate 90 degrees. There we go. 1. I'm going to tab into it to edit it. I'm going to go to edge mode, delete an edge, go to vertex mode, grab these two verts, F for face, A to select them all, A, and then scale it down. Now, you can do these one at a time. I see no reason why you couldn't do 3 of these, right? 1, 2, and 3. You could spin them all at the same time so long as you have the heights correct. But if you ever wanted to make them different colors for some reason, you're doing something different, then maybe you don't want to do that. Oh, I hit Alt-Z to go back to where I was because I realized I was moving the verts without moving the object center. I want to tab out, and then I want to grab this and move it into place, right? If I wanted to do 3 of these, now I would grab any one of them, go into tab, scale Z, right, until I get fairly close, and then I would deselect them, deselect all the verts, grab one set of verts, grab X, move them back here, right, deselect them, B or C, doesn't matter, here's C, grab the front verts, grab X, and move them out here. Now, so long as these are faceless constructions, we'll be fine. Tab out, grab the next one, scale Z, whoops, scale Z, there we are. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Make sure that's nicely centered. Sorry about that. Okay, so I want to hit Tab, A to deselect everything. Actually, you know what? Hang on one second. I'm going to grab this. I want to just quickly see if I'm about the same size as that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to delete this and delete this because the thickness of all of these should be the same. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to scale this down Z-wise just a tad. All right. Shift D, grab Z. Pardon me. Tab into this. And the last thing that I had selected on these was the forward section. So I'm going to grab X and I'm going to move them back here. Cool. Now, like that. Okay, cool. Tab, Shift D, grab Z. So the back end on all three of these is good. I'm going to tab, grab X, and move this in. Okay, cool. So there's 1, 2, 3 of these. I'm going to tab out. I'm going to shift right mouse click the other two, Control J, right? I'm also going to Shift Control Alt C, and I'm going to take the origin to the 3D cursor for this. All right, we're going to tab in, A to deselect everything, A to select all the verts. I'm going to go to Control 3. All right, take a look at this. Here we go. All right, so here's our cursor. Here's our 3. We're going to spin this. And it still retains our settings from before, but if not, you could always type in 100 and 360 degrees. I'm going to hit A and then A to select everything. Remove doubles. And then mesh, normals, recalculate outside. Tab. I'm going to go to the side view 1. Smooth shading. Edge split, get that done and over with. I'm going to go back to tab. I'm going to remove doubles because, oh, wow, cool. All right. Just to be on the safe side, normals, recalculate outside, tab. Okay, cool. I'm going to, bounding box center is still there. Rotate 180. Great. This is now facing in the correct direction. Right. It's already centered. Grab and place it right about here. All right. So I've actually got it lined up top and bottom pretty good. Kind of lucky guess. Grab X. Move this back into place. Going to go to our materials section. For right now, I'm going to pick hull gray and deselect it. All right, so this is actually one unit, which is kind of interesting. I don't think I've done that before. Still, doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. All right. For right now, we're just going to Shift A, add a cylinder real fast, right? We don't need it to be 100. Matter of fact, 32 is probably overkill. But I want it to be smooth with an edge split modifier. Tab. I'm just going to remove doubles just in case. 0. Okay, tab out. All right. Rotate 90. Grab. Scale. All right, cool. We're going to zip in here. And what we want to do is we want this to be this sized here. So scale. Grab X. Not quite perfect. Grab. Scale down. All right, that's not too shabby. I'm going to grab X, move it right about here. Scale X only. Grab X. Let's go to materials. Just for the moment, hull gray. I'm going to Shift D, grab X. Pardon me. Pardon me. I'm going to scale that down. Now I'm going to scale X. Now this is not right, and we'll probably come back and fix it later. But for right now, it'll be a holder for this intersection here. And all we're going to do, hit A to deselect everything. We're going to make one quick dish. All right, so this is already centered, and it's down here near where we want, and we're going to use spin again. So let's add Shift A. We're going to do a curve. Bezier 3, rotate 90. 1. Oop, I'm going to rotate this 180 just because I like that orientation. I'm going to scale this down and tab. All right, cool. So we're going to right mouse click to select an end, grab, move it up here. Right mouse click to grab this end here, grab G, move it down around here, I suppose. All right, cool. Now you can grab these handles, G, spin them in the correct direction, move them so that they're a little shorter. Grab this. All right, now we can zoom in and take a look. All right, so almost there. So let's grab this handle here. Make it a little larger. Grab this handle. We've kind of got that curve there. So I'm going to tab, make sure that it's what I want, it's close. And I'm going to go to Object, Convert to, Mesh from Curve. So now, if I hit Tab, I get a series of verts, which is pretty much what I want now. So I'm going to take this last vert, E to extrude it in the X direction, right? Bring it out here. And then what I'm going to do is tab out, Shift D to duplicate it, right mouse click to make it not active, grab X, move it forward. I'm going to rotate it a little. Whoops, bounding box center. Oh, that's interesting. All right, well, that means the center. Where's the center? All right, so odd. Well, it doesn't matter. All right, it's a series of verts anyway. So tab gets into edit. I'm going to delete that one up there, X vert. And then you can either move these all out, or I'm going to get rid of this. What the heck? We can add Shift A, another Bezier curve, right? 3, rotate 90, 1, rotate 180, scale, rotate a little bit, grab. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing with the inside, I guess. Tab, I'm going to grab this end here, G, move it into place right around here, grab this handle, and make it shorter for now. All right, then we're going to do the same down here. Grab, move it down here right to this center yellow line, right? Grab this handle and kind of move it in place. Now, this is going to be a little more interesting because there is a bump here that we have to add. We want this to be flat. I'll show you how to get that flat in a minute. This is lined up pretty well, but there's a divot cut into it here. So this is lined up pretty well. We're going to tab out, Object, Convert to, Mesh from Curve. So now we've got vertices again, right? And we want this to be perfectly straight. So I like where this wound up, and I like this one here, but these aren't quite right. So I'm going to shift click these three here, which I don't like. X, verts. I'm going to grab this vert, G, X, not move it much. That's actually pretty good. So I'm going to highlight this vert, highlight, shift, right mouse click this vert, F for face, and it's not bad, but I want to subdivide it. I could have kept one of those verts. Oh well. Shift V like Victor. We're going to move this up to about here. I'm going to grab X, that vert, and move it so that this is flat, and then it starts to curve up into this. Okay, cool. I'm going to tab out, A to deselect, Shift A, and we are going to add a mesh now. It's going to be a circle, but it's going to be real low poly. We can leave it 32, that's fine. 3, rotate 90, 1, scale, grab. Let's zoom in here. So I'm going to grab that, put it right on that bump, scale. I want to make this about the size of that bump, and then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to put the center of the bump right there on the edge. And while I'm at it, Shift D, G to grab, move this up here, and again put the center right on the line and line it up with this bump here. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to go back down here, zoom in a little bit, tab, and I'm going to rotate this until I've got a vert on both sides touching that line. Okay, cool. A to deselect, B or C to select some verts and select all the ones on the back. Leave the ones that are on the line. X, verts. Okay, they're gone. All right, tab, A to deselect. We're going to go up here and we're going to do exactly the opposite here. Tab, everything is selected. I'm going to rotate just a tiny little bit there. Good. A to deselect. B or C to select what you want to go away, and that's the front here. Again, leave those center verts that are touching the line. X, vertices. Tab out. Okay, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these lines that are set to go. So I'm going to grab one, right mouse click, shift and right mouse click the next, shift and right mouse click the other two, Control J. Okay, I'm going to tab into it. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to select this vert from our back section. Select this vert from our front. F for face. Now, I'm going to subdivide that. Subdivide. And I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to subdivide that too. All right, cool. I'm grabbing this vert, Shift V like Victor. I'm going to Shift V. I'm going to move it out here a little bit. Shift V. I'm going to move this up just a little bit, and then I'm going to grab this vertex, and I'm going to move it in between the two so that it is not as sharp of a transition. A to deselect. Okay, cool. I like that. I'm going to come down here, and this is sitting right in the middle of an edge. So I'm going to grab edges, grab the edge in front of this thing, X, edge, go back to verts. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to take this vert and hit F for face. This vert and this vert are a little different. This one comes in a little bit, and I don't want to grab it and move it. So I'm going to grab the one on my circle first. And then I'm going to shift right mouse click the other one. And that's Alt M, I think? Yeah, Alt M. And I want them to join at the first one that we selected. So Alt M at first, bang. A to deselect. We're going to move down here. This one's kind of similar. It's between two sets of verts. I can actually grab this vert and just X vertex. We can grab this vertex and this vertex, F to make a face, this vertex and this vertex, F to make a face, A. All right, so now, almost there. This dish is actually almost done. I'm going to grab this vertex. I'm going to grab it literally G and move it to here. E to extrude. Grab it and move it here. E to extrude, move it down. E to extrude, move it to the back of the dish. E to extrude, and I'm going to hit Z because I just want it to go straight down to the middle here. All right, so we've actually outlined our dish. The only other thing I want to do is I want to shift, right mouse click on the front. I'm going to scale Z0 and left mouse click to select. So those should be perfectly centered. Now, Here's the next thing. Shift S, cursor to selected. It'll put a cursor right there. AA to select all the vertices, and I'm going to go to Control 3. So we are centered on our dish, which is centered on the 3D cursor. We're going to spin in at least 100, which is good, and 360, which is good. A to deselect everything. A to reselect all of the verts. We're going to remove doubles because there will be a few, 157. We're going to go to Mesh, Normals, recalculate the outside, Tab, Shift, Control, Alt, C. We want the origin to geometry. And let's look at that from side view 1. Not bad. I want to rotate this 180. I'm going to grab the dish, move it here. So we know it's centered left and right. Well, but it's not perfectly centered here yet. That's not too bad. The last thing would be to make something like this central spindle. Although I'm going to quick grab this and hull gray. All right. Are all these hull gray as well? Yeah. All right, cool. A to deselect. Last thing we got to do is make that spike. Now, I think that this whole thing is one color, but it's up to you how you want to do this. Let's see. Well, Shift A, circle, 32 is fine. I'm going to go to 3, rotate 90, 1, scale this down, grab this, move it here, scale. You could do this with a sphere, but I am going to spin this just like we spun everything else. All right, which means I don't need all of it, but we'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to A to deselect, Shift S, Shift A, I apologize. We're going to go to Curve, add a Bezier curve, 3, rotate 90, 1, scale, scale. All right, cool. Tab. I'm going to grab one end. I don't know. Move it here, I suppose. Grab. All right, better yet, here. We'll just do this. Oh, actually, that's going to work. We're going to grab this handle and move it up a little bit. And you know what? That ain't bad. Now, I should have done it backwards, but I'm going to E to extrude. We get another one of these. I'm going to grab this handle, rotate it, right? I'm going to grab this handle and bring it down. G to grab. Bring it down so it's not such an influence. Grab this so it's not such an influence. Grab the center and move it right about here. So we don't want it really so exaggerated. I'm going to grab this handle. Grab this handle. Grab this. See if I can move this a little bit and play with these just a no. Maybe grab this and make it even shorter. Actually, from what I'm looking at, that's not bad. All right, so I'm going to curve. I'm sorry, tab. I got a tab out. Line isn't too shabby. Going to object, convert to mesh. All right, A to deselect, and then I'm going to add another curve. Shift A, curve, Bezier, 3, rotate, 270, 1, scale. Okay, grab. It's almost the right shape already. All right, so tab, grab this, move it down to approximately the right location, grab, spin that straight up. We're going to have to grab this center here, move it kind of in the middle, and grab middle of this depression here, grab this end. I'm going to shorten this end enormously for reasons that I will show you in a minute. All right, so that's not too bad. Let's see if we can grab that handle, move this down a little bit, grab this handle, and move this up just a bit. Okay, so that's not bad, but I'm going to go down here and I'm going to grab this end and E, move it over here, and grab, and that's not bad. Okay, so I'm going to tab out, curves not too bad, object, convert to mesh. Okay, so we've got 3 meshes, 1, 2, 3. Select them all, Control J. They're now one object. I'm going to deselect everything. Now, since we're going to spin this, I just want to keep this center vert here. I want to keep that. I want to delete everything here and below. So B, select those verts, X, vertices. Matter of fact, I don't need these either. Right? X, vertices. I don't even need these. Well, we'll keep that one. X, vertices. What we want these two to do is we want to pick this vert and this vert. Alt M. We'll go at center. Grab that vert. And just move it where we want it. That's not too bad. I'm going to hand adjust a couple of these. Smooth out this curve. That isn't bad. We're going to leave this nice lazy, I'm going to deselect everything. Nice lazy curve. I want this to come in, so grab. We're going to move this here. And then we're going to grab that vertex and this vertex, F for a face. And then let's just grab a couple of these by hand, smooth out this curve. And that's not too shabby. I'm just going to delete this one, extra vert, X vertices. Okay. Not bad. Well, as a matter of fact, here, probably going to delete that vertex, make a face out of these, grab Z, bring that up just a bit. All right, but that's, all to taste. A to deselect. All right, now, I know that I moved this, so fast way, Shift S, cursor to selected on this one vertex, AA. Okay, great. I've got all the vertices selected. I'm going to go to Control 3. We are going to spin, but we don't need 100. I mean, like 32 would be plenty. AA. Remove doubles. Mesh. Normals. Recalculate outside, tab. 1, we've got our shape. Rotate, 180. While we're here, Shift C, Shift Control Alt C, origin to geometry, so right in the middle. Okay, great. I'm going to scooch out, grab that. Let's move it over here. Grab and place here. Now, did I walk you through anything else? I did not. So we're going to need a real silver sooner or later here. Might as well hit new. I'm going to call this silver. It says diffuse. We're going to drop this down, and we're going to make this glossy. Grab this color here and make it just slightly blue. And no roughness. Okay. A to deselect. I want to hit Z and make sure. Oh, okay. So, I'm sorry. I forgot to walk you through smooth. And then, of course, edge split. I'm going to tab into it. I'm going to remove doubles. No doubt. Oh, nope. But mesh, normals, recalculate outside, tab, and that is ready to go. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go back to our camera and render this out. Be right back. Okay. I don't know about you, but I think this is actually starting to look recognizable as the engineering hall down here. We've got a very nice sensor dish down there. We've got a far too silver spike at the moment, and we've got our internal sections in here. They're all about right to scale. We're going to have to make some adjustments on our arms, but this is where we're going to leave it for today, and then we will come back and we'll do some more adjusting hopefully tomorrow. Great job, guys. Hope you're able to keep up, and if you have any questions or I've gone too fast, pardon me, I've gone too fast or skipped over something, or you want an explanation, tell me in the comments below, and I'll do my best to address whatever questions you've got. But great job. Keep it up. Oh, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. My God, I'll never get used to saying that. Thanks.